You know what's a good game? Blast Core is a good game. The developers of GoldenEye went on to make several video games after GoldenEye that were not as highly respected, but they probably ran better than GoldenEye. But they all ran better than GoldenEye, if I'm being honest. Um, Blast Core is one of those weird games that's like a hard sell for people who want a more conventional action game, but it's a perfect example of a cult game. The kind of game that people who really sort of vibed with the game's concept and vibed with its physics and its mechanics really love it. And I love this game more than most people. In fact, if you were to ask me to rank all of the games that Rare developed, there was a time when I would have said that Perfect Dark was the best Rare game, but especially on the Xbox 360, like that game went from being like borderline unplayable to being like a legitimately great first person shooter if you can get your hands on the 360 version. I did a video of the game where I play the Xbox One version of Perfect Dark, which is the only version you really need to play. Blast Core, well, I owned this game on my Nintendo 64. I no longer own it because I own this. But it was one of the first Nintendo 64 games I played that impressed me that wasn't like a traditional first party game. It's remember, this is basically peak Rare, I would argue. When Rare was allowed to do whatever the heck it wanted, and it got the green light to make this weird thing. I do want to kind of start over though. I'll create a new game here. This is going to be a revisitation. First of all, we're going to be Killmonger. No, we're not going to be Killmonger. Well, we're going to be the usual. I mean, of course. I mean, it doesn't really matter what your name is, if we're being honest. But the whole point is to kind of get back to the vibe of this game because it's not a brain off game, but it's the kind of game where if you do want to play brain off, you can still have a decent amount of fun with it. But there are some parts. Remember, this is a puzzle action game in a way. So it's not if you aren't really on the game's vibe with the harder levels, if you aren't really able to grok the game's harder levels, then you can just play it. You can just kind of improve your times in the levels you are familiar with. Which is the way I used to play it if I just didn't want to make progress. Achieve goal on all levels commence the time attack. Huh? I don't remember that part. But we gotta unlock some stuff, so let's get to that. By the way, I have videos of this game already on this channel, but they're ugly. Even uglier than they look now. So this is in HD, but obviously the emulator's upscaling it to kind of clean everything up. This was never a great looking game, but it does look decent here on the Xbox One. And the frame rate will dip quite a bit. Since we're not playing at 60 frames a second, obviously, so we'll stick with the 30 frames a second we got here, I guess. So pressing start will pause the game. We can see the path ahead. But we need to hit all the lights. So let's hit all these lights. Continue. Don't hit the truck. Let's hit all the lights and clear the way. So yeah, we gotta clear out this building. Flashing arrows means it stands in the carrier's path. As danger closes in, the arrows return from green to red. So the idea is to clear out, clear out whatever's directly in front of the truck, and then start clearing out the stuff that's not important. Yeah, the game's saying that. Yeah, you might if you clear out the optional content, you might get some stuff you might get some Easter eggs basically. Concentrate on the arrowed buildings the carrier passes. Plenty of time to come back later and finish the job. Yeah, like getting all the dots. You hold down the right trigger for the gas button, but if you hold the button down, your vehicle will do donuts. You'll slide around, it'll fishtail, which is sometimes a faster way to clear the area. But for this bulldozer, the best option is to just kind of hit them head on. Something in the carrier's path has been missed. Oh, okay. Well, there is a radar on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Okay. Red indicates the carrier, blue indicates the building blocking its path. Okay, we got a problem. Get down there. Okay, we cleared it. Nope, we didn't clear it. You can push it around, but eventually it's going to pop. Okay, so we missed something. So we'll come back and make sure the path is clear before we start getting fancy. Ideally, you should be zigzagging in front of the car. You should be zigzagging in front of the truck to make sure the path is clear. So we'll focus on that first. Can't knock over the whoops. I ran right into the truck. It's probably a bad idea. Please don't crash into the thermonuclear weapons, as John Travolta once said in Broken Arrow, directed by John Woo. So clear the way. You have you can get into the train later. Yeah. So if you can hop into the train later if you have more time. So for now, we'll focus on destroying the buildings that have to be destroyed. So you can see the blue dot on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. That's the one I definitely need to clear out. All this fishtailing is fun and all, but whatever. So let's keep focusing on the blue dots. Yeah, the blue dot shows the green arrows. So the blue dots on the mini map on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen show the buildings that must be destroyed. Like that one. Yeah, that ugly green texture looks like it might be like quicksand or something. Another area over here we need to clear. Okay, primary mission complete. Press the Y button. So the idea is now that we've cleared out the area, we can start focusing on hunting down all the dots here on all the extra dots here on the ground for 100% bonus, for completionist bonus. Ideally, you'll get 100% on all the levels. I don't know what you get. I want to say you earn something if you get 100% on all the levels. I think it might be a requirement for something. Yeah, we can get in this train. There might be something in the train station if we get to the train station. Yeah, touch these and eventually they'll explode. Why? Okay, so let's get in the train. We just hold down the gas, see if there's anything in the area. You can stop the train at this station, wait for the smiley before attempting to load or unload. That smiley. Below the on the top right hand corner of the screen, below the dollar value over there. Yeah, that smiley. Now what's the point of doing this? Well, you can also take the car that's on here. Press the Y button to leave. Y. Okay, so we can take the car and hop in here. That's one of the bonus vehicles. Access these via the level's communication points. So we'll do that later when we get to the map. See? Knocked it over that building and I freed the survivors inside by blowing it up. Oh well. Mission complete. It's like we redo the level, I think. Yeah, we got 62 thirds of the buildings. We got 92% of the dots. View stats. Yeah, so there's no truck to save here, right? Yeah, there's no truck here, so you can go exploring. Ideally, you can redo the entire level and try to clear it out in one shot, but here we're just kind of exploring for all of the dots we haven't picked up. So we could just destroy all the buildings. See if we can get 100% on this level. Like I said, this is the kind of stuff you don't have to do, but like I said, brain off mode means you can kind of have a little fun exploring these levels. See if there's anything else you might have missed. Any other dots that I missed? We'll find out in a second. View stats. So we have to take out what? 3 more buildings, I think. 15 out of 20? No, it's like, yeah, like 3 more buildings, I guess. And a couple more dots, you can find them. 3 more dots or somewhere. They tend to be clustered pretty close to each other. I forget what happens if you unlock everything in the level, though. Well, you might have to move the train to see if there's anything else over here. Yeah, that darkened texture means we've reached the end of the level. The invisible wall. There's nothing over here near the train station, is there? Yeah, I guess not. You can try and mess with that later, I suppose. But yeah, there might be random dots around here if you look around. No, I think we're good. I guess we can get into the car, get into the muscle car, see if we get a bit more speed. I think we found all the. I mean, there might be a couple more dots in the city. We just kind of didn't run over them because we found these dots. Yeah. Whoop, these dots. There you go. That's all of them. We got all the dots. Just like Pac-Man, collected all the dots. How many more buildings did we miss? There we go. So that's all. So that's everything. Level completed. 100% of the level. Easy, right? Yeah, we know how to play this game. That means we can leave because we unlocked the car, so that was good. So again, once you complete a level, you can just come back and see if I got both golds. So you can just come back and see if there's anything you missed. So we're good. T'Challa, the rookie wrecker. So we'll come back in a minute, but I just wanted to get some more HD content of Blast Corps. We'll play more of this later, obviously. But at least we got some HD content here. I mean, some of this game is at 60 frames a second, but it's probably not worth it for a game like this. It's not really necessary because it can't hold a 60 FPS frame rate, obviously.